Hey everybody, it's Mr. Toya Willen, and I wanted to come on tonight because I wanted to talk about the First Amendment and peaceful protesting. But before I do that, I want to thank everyone who supported my campaign. Oh my God, I'm so excited about that 1,400 people actually wrote my name on a ballot. That's just amazing, right? So I just want to thank everyone. I want to let anyone know who donated to my campaign that the Green Party is part of a state match program. So you'll receive your donation back. Whenever you donate to the Green Party or to a Green Party candidate, you receive your donation back. So while the money is there for me at that time, at the end of the year, you get that money back. So I just want to let you know that for future Green Party, you get your money back. I'm really concerned. I'm just going to dive into this. I'm really concerned about the fact that our governor and the mayor of Minneapolis had dozens upon dozens of peaceful protesters arrested on I-94. The First Amendment to the Constitution guarantees our right to peaceful protest. It didn't say you have the right to peaceful protest only if you're in front of the Capitol, or only if you're in front of the governor's house, or if only you're in front of the police station. It said we have the right to peaceful protest. It never said where. I thought that it was beyond ridiculous that Tim Walz, one-term Tim, that's what I call him, had the audacity and post comments to some destination. Okay, had the audacity to arrest hundreds of people. It was unnecessary. It cost the taxpayers money that we don't even have. It was just really, it was a terrible violation of our First Amendment right. Who are they to come along and tell us that we can no longer protest or where we can protest? That wasn't stipulated in the Constitution. And I get really offended because the Constitution is the tool that they use to keep us bound and oppressed and in jail, and especially American descendants of slavery at 2.6% of the wealth of this nation. The Constitution is the tool that they use to do that. So if you're going to use that tool against us, then when we have the right to protest, how dare you, Tim Walz? How dare you, Fry, have people arrested for protesting against injustice in this country? You have a president that won't concede, who is obviously lost. You have another gentleman who ran for president who put hundreds of who put millions of addicted people in prison. Now, all in the name of the war on drugs. But a lot of people who went to prison under that 1994 crime bill were addicted to drugs. Yet you have a son who is addicted to drugs, who has never seen a day in jail. I don't understand. So these are the two people that we have to work with, right? So this is what we're working with. We're in a city, we're in a state that won't allow us to have peaceful protests, or want to violate our constitutional rights. We're in a country where the current president doesn't want to relinquish his throne, and the soon-to-be president is a hypocrite. He created a bill that tore up millions of families. There are more black men in jail than there are women in this entire country. Know that. There are more black men in jail than there are women in this entire country. That crime bill destroyed the black community. It tore families apart. It took parents out of homes, children out of homes, placed them in CPS, and God only knows where they ended up. Because we remember in 1994, Clinton also signed a bill that any child protection worker who removed a child from their home would receive a $4,000 bonus. If you didn't know, now you know. They receive a $4,000 bonus every time they remove a child from their home. So why would they not want to remove children from the home if they're receiving a bonus every time they do that? $4,000. So now we have 1994, we had the crime bill, which took parents out of home. Bill Clinton signed an act that gave them $4,000, child protection workers $4,000 for to remove for every child. Now, imagine you got 4 children. Every child is worth $2,000, and then they get additional $4,000, and then they get additional $2,000 if they can place your child for adoption. Now, this all started with the crime bill. Right. So now we have the man who orchestrated mass incarceration coming into the White House. We have a president who doesn't want to concede, and we are being violated right here in our state of our constitutional rights. We have a constitutional right, Mayor Fry, to peacefully protest. We have a constitutional right, Mayor Fry, to gather peacefully and assemble. That's what the Constitution of America says. So how dare you violate our constitutional right? How dare you arrest those people? You are the worst mayor. You are the worst mayor that I have seen since I've been in this state. I met you one time at a debate. And I don't know if it was a debate. I met you when you were running, and I told you, I said, you are too politician-y and you're unrelatable. There are people who are starving, who are dying in your city, who are sleeping in tents, but you want to cost taxpayers money and unnecessarily arrest people that should not have been arrested in the first place because they were protected by the First Amendment. You sorry son of a gun, right? That just makes me really mad. It makes me mad that, hey, love. It makes me mad that they care so little about our constitutional rights, about us as people, that they just walk all over them. It says in the Constitution that you have a right to a speedy trial with a jury of your peers. I've never seen a black person have a jury of his peers, because a white woman and from South suburbia is not a jury of his peers. The word peer means equal to, or some similarity. It has some similarity. That your peer is the person who is closest to you. They're your age, your ethnic background, they're the same religion, they're your neighbor, something. But they are not if you are in the inner city and you have a jury of 12 white people who live in suburbia who have no idea what you go through every day. A peer is somebody who can identify with you, your life, your struggle, and what goes on with you. So they've been violating our constitutional rights for a long time. I thank God. I thank God that God has the last word. I thank God that God is God all by himself. Because if we left our lives, if we left our situation up to the powers that be, there would be no hope. And you have to have hope to go on. I just don't understand. In a town that's supposed to be so progressive. Now let me say this. Let's keep it 100. Let's talk real, right? You don't mind if I be honest, right? So this is a Democratic state. Black people have been voting democratically for years, generation after generation after generation. But you continue to mess us over generation after generation after generation. Social service programs, Clinton removed those. The programs that help us, the treatment centers that were here, the things that were established to help you, Democrats ended those services. So if this is the party that we're following, this is the party that that's supposed to come and save us, why aren't they? Why are they not saving us? If this is a Democratic state, right? This Democratic state, how could a progressive governor and a so-called progressive mayor arrest so many people? Because protesters are a nuisance. That's what it's for. So that we can disrupt and make your lives uncomfortable until you give us justice. No justice, no peace. And I tell you what, I don't have a problem going to jail. Been there, done that. We'll do it again. But I don't have a problem laying my life down for my people. Because when I entered this fight, I decided, and when I entered this fight, when God sent me, I said, wherever you send me, God, I will go. And whatever has to happen, has to happen. If it means I got to give my life so that my people can succeed. So that, and when I say my people, I don't mean just black people. I'll use ADOS if I'm talking about black people. But so that the people that your children, God, so that your children, the people that you care about can have better lives, then that's what has to happen. I don't have a problem with that. Because at the end of the day, when God calls me home, I know that my work will be finished here. I'm only here to serve. I'm only here to do what he tells me to do and go and serve the people. So when he does call me home, he can say, well done, my good and faithful servant. I guess the police never even gave us an order to... They never gave you an order to disperse. They just came. They had orders, all right. And the orders came from Tim Walz. Say it with me, people. One time Tim. One term Tim. We cannot have politicians in office who are not concerned with civil liberties, who will violate our constitutional rights, who are not working in our best interest. We're screwed from the top down. And it's time we wake up and realize the Democrats don't have our best interest at heart. It was the Democrats that wanted to keep ADOS, the ancestors of ADOS, in slavery. It was radical Republicans that wanted to free us. Ain't that about a hoop, right? The president decided to order that was in power at the time, Lincoln, was a Republican. Freeing us was the furthest thing from any Democrat's mind. But that's okay. Let's talk about today. Let's talk about what's going on in Minnesota. So we have a Democratic governor who is supposed to be our saving grace. We have a Democratic governor who is supposed to be a progressive thinking, justice-seeking type of governor. Yet, because his city, because he doesn't know how to handle things, because he doesn't know how to take charge, not for real. He's a sorry excuse for a politician. You need to go back to teaching. You in the wrong job, bro. Because we have a governor that cannot handle things in the correct way, because we have a governor who gets scared every time one of us, black, white, brown, green, orange, cat, or dog, shows up to protest, he gets afraid and he doesn't know how to handle it. He wants to arrest, he wants to violate your constitutional rights. But there's a way to fix that. We put politicians in office that we know are going to have our best interest, that want community control over the police. who care about black lives, black men and black women being gunned down and shot in the street, who have a heart for the people. If we'd had UBI and healthcare for all in place here in Minnesota, because guess what? They could have did that just for the state. Here in Minnesota, the pandemic, the COVID would not have affected us financially like it did. It would not have hurt us to the point that it did. It would not have hurt our economy to the point that it did. You wouldn't have to give that extra $600 a week with unemployment. Had you have been working on real issues. What do you do, Tim, besides tweet every day? I just want to know what you're doing, because I don't see anything progressing. You're progressive. I don't see progression. How dare you? The most I've seen you do is say wear a mask. You come on every day at 2:00 and tell the people wear a mask and stay safe. What is it that you do? Can somebody tell me what this man does? Because he's not done anything that helps us. What are our state and local officials doing? Because I don't see it. Show. 12 came out with signs that night saying stop brutality against police while they were on So they came to agitate. They came to stir things up. Isn't that about something? But when they do that, when they come out to agitate and stir things up, it's not for us. It's not in our best interest. They come out so they can make us look bad. And they can cause trouble, throw stuff through windows and all kinds of things, pick over garbage cans, burn cars, loot, all in the name of Black Lives Matter, making us look like we're these terrible thugs that just go out and harm people and cause trouble. Our lives matter. The people of Minnesota matter. Tim, why aren't you putting Minnesota first? You bit my slogan, so you said you were going to put them first, but I don't see you putting Minnesotans first. I don't see you putting care into the lives of Minnesotans. You arrested black people, you arrested white people, you arrested all the people. You had those people arrested. Now, okay, so all right, so you don't like peaceful protests. Do something about our current situation. Do something about the fact that we got homeless people sleeping in the parks in tents. Do something about the fact that veterans don't have places to stay. Do something about mental illness. Reestablish some of those programs that your buddies took away. Since you don't want protesting and police brutality, make them carry insurance. This is what I want to see. And I know that's why they were out there. They were out there because they feel that their lives and the lives of their friends do not matter. And what you showed, I'm so disappointed. Bring it down, Santoya. I'm so disappointed because let me hit Fry right quick, because Fry, by allowing those police officers to arrest those people, you outright said our lives don't matter to you. And because our lives do not matter to you, you will not see a second term. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to work hard to make sure you don't see a second term. I'll put anybody else other than you in office. You are, who does that? These people, I wasn't out there, but I've been out there before. I've been on Highway 94. I've shut it down before, right? And we are there to disrupt because our lives are not mattering to the people of the state, to the powers that be, to a lot of white Americans. Our lives don't matter. And until Black lives matter, all lives cannot matter. But what you showed us, and I want people to take note of this, people. Be aware, understand what happened, what transpired there. We can't look at 12. 12 took all the orders of our governor and our mayor. They said outright, Black lives do not matter. Make them pay for that. Make them pay by removing them from office. I see how confused Tim gets. I see how he's unable. He's not able to handle various situations. He's not a very good governor. Period. He's not a good governor, and he has no leadership skills. He is not a leader. That's what it is. He is not a leader. How you put a non-leader in a leadership position? Because a good leader, Tim, would have came down on 94. You'd have came out your mansion, came out on 94 and said, Black lives matter here. But you didn't do that. You sent 12. You sent the police. And by the way, the police, forgive me, Jesus, but forget the police. You sent 12 to arrest innocent people who are just trying to to lift their voices to the injustice, the police brutality. We need reparations. What are you doing about that? Are you working on something about that? Because I want to know. Are you? No, you're not, because guess what? Black lives don't matter to you. It doesn't matter that the average black woman, the median income for a black woman in St. Paul is $8. It doesn't matter to you, but you arrested she might have been on the freeway. You arrested her, so she had to battle out and find somebody to keep her kids, possibly, child protection get involved. You did that. You're a sorry excuse for a leader, because you're not a leader. Leaders build. Leaders take charge. Leaders are guide people to a better way. Why are you my governor? Who chose you? I didn't do it. Did they not know that you suck? And it's not just the black community that thinks you're bad. It's everybody. Like, I read your post, I read the tweets, and I read the tweets under your tweets. They want you gone. So when white people want you gone and black people want you gone, you're about to go. Stay woke. I just, my mind just wrap my mind around the situation that these people would just take advantage or deny us our constitutional rights. If I'm truly a citizen of the United States of America, if this land is your land and this land is my land, if this land is your land and this land is my land, how can you be comfortable with the fact that police officer, oh God, that Derek put his knee? This man was so callous. Come on, let's talk about it. This man was so callous that he not only put his knee in this man's neck, he put his hands in his pocket and looked dead into the camera, like he was getting paid or something, like he was in a movie. That's how callous he was. That's how much he didn't care. How can you be comfortable with that? Yes, there's going to be civil unrest. There will be civil unrest until the justice that we seek happens. And if we can't protest peacefully, if we can't raise our voices in concerns of what's going on here, in concern for our fellow Americans, I'm an American. I'm an American. My ancestors built this place, right? And don't act like there wasn't no slaves in the North, because there were slaves in the North. They came to the North with their masters, but they were there, right? We built this. We did this. So how dare you? Shopping does get due process. He gets to get out, move to another town, and buy a house. You know what happens when black people get out of jail? They let us out at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning so that we're disorientated when we get out, and they give us our stuff in a little bag, and they don't want to even let you sit there and put your shoestrings in your shoes. They want to rush you up out of there, right? So we're let out in the middle of the night, and no one to come pick us up, and all disoriented, and we're not going to go purchase a house because the house I live in don't belong to me. I'm renting it. Come on now. Hey, Alexis. Yeah, they're acting like they're the victims. They're acting like we're doing something to them. They're acting like we just popping up and shooting them while they're walking down the street. Shooting them, killing you, being arrested while sleeping, while eating, while drinking, while walking. While driving. It used to be just you couldn't drive a car. Now you can't walk, you can't sleep, you can't go to a Starbucks, you can't cash your check in America without the police being involved. And then they act like it's us that's doing it to them. How dare your mayor, the mayor of Minneapolis? He sucks. He sucks lemons. I'm just saying, it's just bad. One turn Tim and one turn Fry. No more. They got to go. They have to go. And we have to make every effort to make sure that the Democrats and the Republicans are put out of their misery. They need to be they should just combine, because the both parties look alike to me. They do the same thing. They treat us the same way. They look just alike to me. And I don't see the difference. Trump is a dictator, right? But Biden is a life destroyer. He destroyed millions of families across this country with his crime bill in 1994. I ain't forget, dude. I did not forget what you did. I have not forgotten. Some people forgot because you're going to be president. I didn't forget. That was callous and it was cold. We lost children to CPS. We lost parents to prison. And that was all because of you. If you voted for Biden and you're black and you had a family member that got caught up and put in prison based on that bill, call me. We're gonna pray about it. You need hands laid on you, because that's the ultimate betrayal. And I'm not saying that you should have voted for Trump. I'm saying that we should have just showed up at the polls and voted down and voted our conscience, but not voted for the people who were hurting us. Hey, Alexis, what you say? They are destroying families, but yet they get to go home to their families with no problem. Exactly. They're going home. CPS workers will come and get your children. Place your children in the most dangerous situations, but die if their child steps on a thumbtack, right? A lot of them don't even have children. And then they send these workers that are not ADOS to analyze and tell us how we should raise our kids. You don't know anything about my children. You don't know how they think. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what's wrapped up in their DNA. You can't identify with their trauma, the post-slavery syndrome, that post-slavery traumatic syndrome that we have. You can't identify with that, but you'll take my child and you'll put him with a white family who cannot identify with this child and expect them to succeed. You're setting my kids up for failure. So first you want to arrest the parents and then you want to take the children. That's crazy. This is why people were raising their voices. If anybody can like tag what's his name, Fry or Walsh, tweet it or something, because they were wrong. They were dead wrong. What do you say, Alexis? For real, it's sickening. Corrupt people get due process, but we people don't. You're right. How they gonna let Chavez out of jail and then arrest hundreds of protesters for peacefully protesting for the right just to be human? That's crazy. But see, what I like about politicians and what I like about the democratic process is that when you do dumb stuff, we the people, all those people that you arrested, they vote. Don't think they don't vote. And their vote matter. Because guess what? The ADOS community is the backbone of the Democratic Party. And usually activists are Democrat. Not me, I'm green. I don't mess with y'all like that. However, usually those people are Democrats, and those people are the ones who are putting you in office. But yet, the very people who voted for you, the very people who put you in office, you decided that their lives did not matter. But guess what? We're going to decide that your job does not matter. You doing that job doesn't matter to us. We are organizing. We're coming together. We're switching parties. We're party switching around here. Because guess what? It's time for us to let the Democrats know and the Republicans know that you are not the last house on the block. Imagine all the black people who voted for you becoming a Green Party member or a Marijuana Party member or mainly Green. No, I'm talking about that. Becoming a Green Party member and then running for your job and taking it. That's what we on. That's what has to happen. I just don't understand how a supposedly progressive governor and mayor could do such a horrendous thing. Yet you allowed Chavez freedom. And what is our attorney general doing? Oh my God. You do know that he ADOS, but he's not ADOS. He ain't one of us. He's forgotten how it feels to be one of us. He's forgotten how it feels to be in inner city, how it feels to be mistreated. He's forgotten how it feels maybe to have to eat a surf sandwich every now and then. He's forgotten where he come from. But let me tell you, Mr. Ellison, and you know I don't particularly care for you, but let me tell you that your job can be in jeopardy too. Don't think just because you black that we'll keep you in office. If you're not doing matter of fact, the whole Ellison family needs to come down. The wall of Ellisons need to come down, because if the father don't do right, the son ain't gonna do right, and the son don't do right, that means his mama ain't doing right, because the apple don't fall far from the freaking tree. Y'all need to stop playing, because you act like those jobs are given to you like that's a lifetime appointment or something. Like you can't be voted out. You will be voted out. I cannot wait to you guys come up for re-election. I can't wait. I'm excited about it. Y'all should get excited too. I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much money you put in your campaign. I don't care how much money you raise. We'll take a broke person and put them in there. They ain't even got to run no ads. Anybody but you. Anybody but you guys. Because what you did was sickening. It was horrific. It was disrespectful, and it was a violation of our First Amendment rights. You took mothers who possibly had to leave their children with sitters or their parents or grandparents that loved their children so much that they wanted to come out and cry for freedom, cry for justice, and say no justice, no peace for their kids. And you put them in jail. Y'all so sorry excuse for leadership. I swear, I promise you. You're sorry. You gotta go though. It's okay. You're just gonna go. I want the people who are arrested to know that I'm sorry that happened to you. I hate that happened to you. I know. That's how I felt when I felt embarrassed too when I got arrested at my son's school, because I fight for my son and my children, but I fight for everybody's children, because I don't believe there's a such thing as other people's children. I think that we the people in search of a more perfect union. In search of a more perfect union, right? If we were in search of a more perfect union, if we're we the people, then you want to see we the people have the justice that they deserve. America watches this man, killed this man, and you let him go. White privilege is a, y'all know I'm cuss, but white privilege is a mother ucker, right? White privilege is something else. When you can kill somebody on TV and get a bond, and get a bond, and then go to jail. And as soon as it died down, as soon as they thought it died down, like we weren't paying attention, they're gonna sneak you up out of there. They're gonna let you go. The old Toya, before I became Minister Toya, I grew up in the church all my life, but I ain't always walked on the side of heaven. The old Toya would say something like, eye for an eye. You take my child, let's take yours. I take my kids, I ain't got nothing else to live for. I'm gone. Know that if somebody took listen, I birthed them. You'll see a Toya you ain't never seen before. I'm sorry, Marissa. They just because they don't care. I'm glad you got out too. I didn't get your text till later, but I did call and leave a really nasty email. Nasty voicemail because they don't answer their phones. That's another thing. We have politicians that don't answer your phones. How do you not answer your phone for the people? How do you not have someone appointed to answer the phone to get back to the people? You're not above us. And Tim, when you're a teacher, after your term is up, when you go back to teaching, we're gonna show the only way that you're gonna know that what you did was horrific and terrible thing to do was to see you get voted out by a landslide. Like I propose that that the person who runs against him, the person that's up against him, that they win by a landslide. I want the people to stand up and say, this man has lost his mind. I wish Walsh hadn't, Dayton had never retired. He was high all the time. He didn't really care. He wouldn't have sent the police down there. I'm just playing. I'm playing. But we had to exit to go and 12 people on the highway. 12 people on the highway for 5 hours. And I was in that traffic. Right? But I knew what was going on, so I just got comfortable. I had bought me a bottle of wine. I opened the wine. I got my libations. I just sat there, and and so I knew I was going to be there for a while. We got my blanket out the back of the truck. I just got comfortable. I was trying to go to Walmart because I was supposed to have left town that next day, but I couldn't leave town because I didn't get to all of the things that I needed. Because of the civil unrest. There will be civil unrest until justice happens. Period. No justice, no peace. And we got to get arrested. If I can't speak for all of them. If it takes my life, no justice, no peace. Know this. I don't have a problem. I have no problem being arrested. I have no problem doing whatever it takes, doing whatever is called of me to free my people. My people in Minnesota, my people in Chicago, my people around this country, and to free ADOS. You want to fight crime in this country? Give ADOS reparations. Because people tend not to do crimes when they can feed themselves. They tend not to do crimes when they can pay their rent. They tend not to commit crimes when their basic needs are met. But as long as we're at 2.6% of the wealth, do you know that black people in this country in 400 years have gone from 0% of the wealth to 2.6%? That's not a long way. We didn't travel far, right? We don't have the opportunity to pass. We don't have generational wealth. We have to pass down homes from generation to generation, or benefit from the work that we did from all the cotton. They around here saying cotton, the fabric of your lives. No, cotton, the blood of slaves. That's what cotton is. But they don't want to give out reparations. But you gave $8 billion to Native Alaskans in the CARES Act, but we can't get reparations. Where did that money come from? Did you take it out of my taxes? Because I really want to know. Because every time I mention reparations, somebody says, "Who's going to pay for it?" I just want to know who paid for the Native Alaskans money. I heard that the city council voted not to hold the police account. Okay, Cam. Cam is on the city council. He's a Green Party member. So the city council voted not to hold the police accountable for their actions. That means that you did that too. I don't give anybody a pass. Nobody. Nobody gets a pass. I don't care if you're green. Jeremiah, you don't get a pass. Andrea, you're not going to get a pass. And Pierre, or I don't even know his name. I think it's Pierre, or Percy or something. You know what I'm talking about. He don't get a pass either. And no other city council member gets a pass. We're going to go I'm going to go find you and write all your names down. Because we need to run somebody in every district. Y'all got to go too. That reminds me, my friend Daphne is running in the 5th Ward. She's going to be running in the 5th Ward City Council. She hasn't announced it. She won't be mad at me that I did. But she going to win. You know how I know she going to win? Because she is connected to the people. Because she cares about the people. Because she loves the city of Minneapolis and the people who live thereof. She's out there every day. She goes down to the homeless shelters and talk to the people, give them encouragement, give them cigarettes and food and fruit and all kinds of stuff. It's just she about this high. About that high. I'm just kidding. But she a little video thing with a big old voice. Watch out, Jeremiah. We ready. We coming. Watch out, Fry. We ready. We coming. Watch out, Walsh. We ready. We coming. Watch out, City Council, because we ready and we're coming. We're coming for your jobs. We're coming for your reputations. And we're coming for for freedom for our people. For freedom for those of us for the people who are living outside right now. It's about to be freaking cold. You got people living in tents. But you went home last night to the governor's mansion, huh? Why can 12 wear the thin blue line symbol while on duty, but teachers can't wear BLM? I don't know. The one thing I can say is that they get to just practically do what they want to. I mean, I don't know why that would surprise you. You know, anytime you can kill anybody live on FaceTime Live, you know, or shoot a man for a broken tail light, or shoot people running away from you, that's a minor thing. I mean, like, yeah. And get away with it and walk away. Matter of fact, there was a young man, his last name was McDowell in Chicago. He was 17 years old. Police shot him in his back. Now his back. If they shot him in his back, that means he was running away, right? Shot him in his back 17 times. The irony in that, right? And then this whole city covered it up from the mayor down, right? Covered it up until it was leaked that what had happened. Guess what? Only one somebody went to jail, and I don't think I don't even know if he's still there. They might have slipped him out the back door. You know, what I want to say to my fellow activists, community organizers, ministers, allies, and friends. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't let them scare you. Now is not the time to put your tail between your legs and run. And the Bible says, that. Okay, I know the scripture. The Bible says that there will be trials and tribulations, and it said that and do your trials and tribulations, your faith grows. God allows us to go through things and experience things so that we can because He is preparing us for what's to come. He's preparing us for where we got to go. He's preparing us for what has to be done. Don't give up. Think about some of those people who didn't give up. We can't. Well, yeah. We don't fret. There's a story. Okay, there was a young man. His name was Timothy in the Bible, and he was one of the 12 disciples. Stephen. He was one of the 12 disciples, and Stephen got stoned to death. This was after Jesus had been crucified, and after the Pentecost. So he got stoned to death for being a follower of Jesus. They stoned him. So Christians start getting scared. They start scattering. They start running. And John and James, the brother of Jesus, they call him James the Just. He said, "Do not be afraid." In other words, he was telling them, this is not the time to tuck your tail between your legs and run. This is the time to stand on the promises of God. He said, I would never leave you nor forsake you. And I'm telling you guys right now, He has not left us yet. No matter what they throw at us, no matter what they do to us, God got a plan. And believe me, there's two things that He cannot do. That's lie and fail. He will not fail us. He will not leave us, and He's not going to let them hurt. He's not going to let them continue to mistreat us. God sees. He sits high and He looks low. He sees everything. It's the things that He said, the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous, which tells me that we're going to get reparations. He said that He would never leave us nor forsake us, which means that He's going to rescue us. He said that He loved us so much that He gave His only begotten Son, that whosoever will believe in Him shall not perish but have eternal life, right? Whosoever. I'm glad I was whosoever, right? I'm glad that God loved me enough. He didn't love me that He didn't send His only Son so that some crazy cop could kill me, or He didn't send His only Son to save me. He didn't save me for this mess. This is not God's doing. He didn't save me for this. He saved me for what's to come. This is just what we got to go through to get there. Lose not faith. The Bible says, be not weary in good doing, because in due time you shall reap. In due time. So I just want to encourage you tonight. I know what happened the other day was on the highway is horrific. I know you were sad. I know it was crazy. I know that you were embarrassed. I know that you felt hurt. I know some people had their children at home. I know all of that happened. But guess what? Don't give up. Don't allow them to scare you. Because if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. If we got to go to jail, we got to go to jail. But we cannot stop. If you think that stopped us, you think we're not going to be on the highway again? We'll go again. And you know that. Highway, lay on the tracks, whatever it means we need to do to stop the progression of the money flow in this town, until you see what's happening with people of color and ADOS. And I say and ADOS because we're not people of color. But they're harming people of color, other black people, black immigrants, and the ADOS community especially. Because they don't think our lives matter. But we got to show them We're gonna show them at the polls. We're gonna continue to fight this fight. We're gonna continue to protest. We're gonna show up at city council meetings. We're gonna show up at the Capitol. I remember when we used to be at the Capitol shutting it down. We'd go in their meetings and shut it down. We had no problem with that. Because not only do we shut it down here, we go inside and shut it down. Not only do we march and protest, that's wonderful, but we got to go inside. And then we got to put some people at the table who can create the laws that are beneficial to the people who need them. Just watch. And I invite anybody to join the Green Party. Please come join the Green Party. Because some things are going to happen. If we leave the Democratic and Republican Party, people of color, ADOS, and other Black Americans and Black immigrants, they will fall. They'll fall. And we have an opportunity right now. We have an opportunity to join a party that will support us in our efforts, that will support us and our support us in our journey for equality, our journey for justice, our journey for what is rightfully owed to us, our journey. Quitting is not, I love it. Mine either. And I'm a different type of minister. Like, you don't see a lot of preachers outside protesting and stuff. And I'm gonna be a different type of politician if I ever decide to run again. Because I refuse to allow the status quo to dictate to me what I can and cannot do. I'm gonna be in the streets with my people. I'll be at the Capitol, shutting it down. I'll be at the Sentencing Guidelines Commission. I'll be back there. I ain't been in about a year, but guess what? I'm coming back. I know y'all miss me. Put my 2 cents in on your sentencing policies because they have the worst sentencing guidelines of any state here in Minnesota. I had an opportunity to be on a team, and we were able to get drug sentencing, first and second degree drug sentencing reduced because people were getting more time for crack cocaine than they were for powder cocaine because white people and preppies and people with money did powder cocaine and people who on the street did crack. To me, the people who smoke crack, they spend more money. They the ones who be getting a break. I'm just saying. And then they took treatment centers out. So the treatment centers to jail. But Joe Biden's son didn't go to jail because he had a crack. He's a crack. He has a crack problem. I mean, he has a drug problem. You don't kick a person when they're down, but he real down there. He really, really down there. Well, I'm not gonna hold you guys hostage. I just wanted to come on, encourage you, and let you know that I love you. I support you. I would have came if I had seen it. Somebody, if you're in jail, if you go to jail during a protest and you need Minister Toya, not just Toya, Minister Toya to come down there, I will come. If you need a ride home, call my phone. My phone number, my actual phone number to my actual phone is on my Facebook page. Call me. I'll come get you. Unless I go to jail with you, then that might make it kind of difficult. But if you know what now, call me. Don't send me a message. Don't text me. Call my phone. I answer all times of night because you never know where people are calling you. People call me in the middle of the night for prayer. People call me in the middle of the night to talk about what's going on with them. You know, they'll call me and say, can I speak? My girlfriends will call me and say, can I speak to Minister Toya? Because once they say Minister Toya, I'm ethically bound and licensed bound not to repeat anything they tell me. I wouldn't repeat it anyway, but, you know, at that moment, they just need Minister Toya, and that's okay. So if you need me, I'm available. If for anything, and don't forget, me being a minister holds a lot of weight. People listen to me when they don't listen to other people sometimes. That collar makes a difference. But long as I got King Jesus, I don't need nobody else. But he who sent me, he who told me to go, he who has given me the charge to help His people, the people that he loves. We are God's children. God loves us. And he sends those who he has put that fight in. He has put that empathy, that sense of compassion that will go and fight for the people beyond anyone else. They will have killed me because I'm not scared. You had little bitty babies, you can't be getting killed out here. Right? You got little babies. My babies are grown. On the other hand, I got a 27-year-old, 19-year-old. They both live on their own. One lives in Chicago, and my little son, he just got his own apartment in California. I'm going, and I'm going there tomorrow. I got to be on at 3. I keep missing my flight, right? I'm such a procrastinator. But I will be on the flight tomorrow at 3 o'clock, and they told me they will not change my flight again for free. So they've been changing it for free, right? Because of the pandemic. But they said they're not going to do that. It's the third time. So tomorrow I'll be on a flight. I'll be in Cali by 5:30 their time, 7:30 our time. I'll be riding down the Pacific coastline with my hair in the wind and in the convertible that I rented because I can't buy one. But yeah. Let the life laying down be done to us people that we've done. I've done my child thing. I raised my babies, right? And if that's what's called for, if that's what has to happen, I don't want to go nowhere. I kind of like living, but if that's what has to happen, and God calls me home, then I know that I have completed the mission that He sent me for. And I'm not looking for nothing really extra. I want to be happy where I'm here. I would love to get married and have grandchildren and all the wonderful things that go along with life, right? Be financially secure, all of that. But more than I want that, I want justice. I want freedom. I want them to take the knee off of our neck. I love you. I love you guys. I love you and everybody who was here and will be here or will see this. I love you, and it is not a darn thing you can do about it. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.